Mr. Decla has held various management positions in Italian and international companies for the past over 25 years. He moved to Vietnam in 2007. It's been 15 years ago. And to manage an Italian company in the leather sector. Then he was appointed as the chairman of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam in 2012, becoming an important reference for any Italian company interested in doing business in Vietnam. So, Mr. Decla, how Italian companies are doing in Vietnam? Could you please share your insights with us? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And as usual, as ICHAM, we support DMP in the activities we already do many times in these years. Thanks a lot also for Mr. Francesco Accuri from the Embassy to be with us today, and also all the DMP team and also the participants. As also Mr. Francesco said, in Vietnam, we are over 100 companies already established, since from the very well-named note like Piaggio, Ariston, on Datalogic, or GV others, but we have not only the manufacturing, we have services, we have logistics, we have food and wine, in the fashion. We cover many sectors here in Vietnam. All the companies that start the operation in Vietnam, the majority, most all of them, they double the investment and they will be quite happy to be here. Of course, Vietnam is not really in heaven. Of course, is a positive point, also difficulties, but for sure, the location of the country in the middle of the Asia and the Southeast Asian area, and the signing of over 15 FTAs agreement. The last one that we have mentioned was with Europe, signed in 2020, with already over 2 years that is entered to force. And this help, of course, also the company to establish their presence here, to be direct business with Europe. And we see that in 5-6 years, the duty of 99% of the product on the bilateral trade will be zero. So this will be a big advantage for the company for import-export from Italy to Vietnam and vice versa. Of course, there is a kind of little problem related to the supply chain. Vietnam still buying a lot of raw material from China. Even the company, huge investment came in here. The latest one that they signed a contract just a few months ago was Lego, the very famous Scandinavian company, for over $1 billion factory they will build in the next 3 years in the southern province of Binh Duong near Ho Chi Minh City. And the CEO of Lego Group, the vice president, said one of the reasons is not because the cheapest of the labor force, but mainly is the location of Vietnam, the position of the market, and also the potentiality of the local market, because we don't forget that we are over 100 million people living in Vietnam. Even the GDP is not very high, but in the main cities, Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, they're growing a lot. The middle class is growing, and for sure will become a very interesting market for many products. Of course, one of the biggest product that we sell, like Italian investor, is the Vespa, is Piaggio product, but also Ariston product that we sell in GV and more others. But this means that the local market is growing, and many companies watching also on that. And we don't forget the big expansion of the IT industry in Vietnam. Intel is one of the biggest investors. For Italian side, we have Datalogic, but that's mentioned that the Vietnamese, over 80% of population use is access Wi-Fi. They use the mobile smartphone. So this means the population is very young and very keen to use the latest IT technology. And this is increasing a lot the platform of e-commerce. Vietnam is one of the biggest market on that. So for many companies will be another big opportunity to sell their product in Vietnam. Of course, infrastructure still little problem, not inside the country. They need to develop a lot, even the logistic at the port, but they are working on that. We really hope in the next years they will improve the investment also in this area. And as also Mr. Francesco mentioned, also the circular economy and all the green economy is very sensitive here in the country. And we inform you that EuroCham and also ICHAM is involved, organized at the end of November this very important exhibition. The name is GEFE, Green Economic Forum exhibition in Ho Chi Minh City, 28, 29, and 30 of November. This will be a very important moment and gate for all Italian companies interested on this sector of the circular economy and the sustainability. This event will be very important. Italy play a very important role in this area, in this sector, with many companies involved for the water treatment, for the waste treatment, and also solar, wind power, and the green energy. So this is important. So what I can say, of course, all Italian companies are very welcome. As ICHAM, we can support them. Next year, we celebrate the 15th anniversary together, as Mr. Arcuri say, of the 50 diplomatic relationship between Italy and Vietnam. We are 15, 1-5, but we are still growing with our 2 offices, one in Hanoi and one in Ho Chi Minh City. And of course, our door is open also to support our members as we are doing today with the DMP. So thanks a lot for having me. I will leave quite soon. I am in another event and seminar now, but our support is always there for this kind of event. Thanks a lot for having me.